What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode, I lost it, 265 of Opinions May Vary. I am your host, Jared. My co-host with me, Alex.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Hi.
It's been a long time. It hasn't.
So long.
It hasn't at all. Joining us this week in what is, without a doubt, the longest hiatus that we've experienced since his debut. But a big event happened last weekend. When was it? Last Sunday?
2 weeks ago.
No, it was literally on Sunday.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, right, because we're deceiving people. Yep. Because this is next week's episode.
We're good at this.
We're just breaking it down.
That's what they have
breaking
to
the fourth
pretend
wall.
SmackDown's live.
It was it was 2 weeks. It's 2 Sundays ago. So, anyways, the good old Matthew James is back.
Hello, friends.
Hey, man.
Thanks for having me.
You are.
It was a year.
It was a year.
That stinks.
I was gonna break it again, but I'm not. It's been over a year.
Oh yeah, over a year at this point.
It definitely hasn't been 2 days short of a
You
year.
count the exacts to the day.
Let's review WrestleMania 34 right now and just get one in the can. Let's just do next year's Mania. We'll be good.
Roman Reigns and John Cena both win.
Probably it.
Gross.
WWE champion Rob Gronkowski defending against.
Since it was such a big hit, everyone's just going to get married now.
Right?
So popular.
Rob Gronkowski marries. Sorry.
Tom
Paige,
Brady.
obviously.
Oh my gosh. We did a long list of things we weren't going to talk about. We definitely got to talk about that one.
See, I
don't know anyone involved in that one. It's fine to talk about.
I watched WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
It is I made a pretty good one. I sat down next to Colin and I asked, because I was with Colin and a lot of friends, a couple people that I was not too familiar with, but like they're all big on wrestling. They've been watching wrestling for a long time now, so they all know the stories. I was pretty proud of this one. Sit down next to Colin and say, "Hey guys, catch me up on what I missed. It's been a while. What happened since Shawn Michael and Hulk Hogan fought?"
SummerSlam 05. I'm up to now. Go. What happened on Raw the night after SummerSlam 05? Hogan wasn't there. Shawn was. I remember that Raw.
Jesus, dude. That was 12 years
Dude,
ago.
if I cared about anything as much as I care about wrestling, I'd be a millionaire. Nah, I wouldn't. Be a doctor.
But
ambulance driver, at least.
I got to witness my first pay-per-view since that.
I'm so happy you watched it.
Me too.
You've never seen a live pay-per-view before?
No. It's the first one that I've seen since.
Oh, okay.
Since Randy Orton got out of the game.
Right. Dude, don't even
No,
get me
you
started.
got out of the Randy Orton
I
game.
got out of the Randy Orton
Big
game.
night. We'll get
Yeah.
to it, but big night for you the other night, huh? You don't care. Over
God,
it.
that match sucked, assholes.
I don't understand. I guess we'll just jump right to the.
Yeah,
we'll go with 9 matches in real quick. He did those. Bray Wyatt does this thing. He does his backwards Sister Abigail like crab walk thing,
Right.
and then the projections start, which I thought were cool if you're going to win the match. But are you going to project maggots all over the ring and then lose the match? And it was like bugs eating bugs, and he just RKO. It's
Apparently
over.
it didn't work.
Didn't work.
It was...
Roommate Ryan made it home in time to watch that one, and we were watching that together. And like I'm not up to date. Like there's stuff I watch on What Culture, there's stuff that I watch on Botchmania, but like I'm not on like the week to week kind of thing.
Yeah, so you didn't know if that was a first time thing or if it was a.
Well, like I've seen Bray Wyatt do the upside down crab walk. And I'm like,
Seen it in the GIFs.
This is a really weird thing. Like, does that lead up to something amazing? Does he pull some kind of crazy move out of that? And Ryan's like, nah, he just does it to be weird, and then he has to get back up again. And I'm like,
Ow, my back.
I don't understand.
Yeah, no, he does it because it's like just an exorcist. It's just a psych out thing. It's just as much as any taunt. It's probably you need an L1 trigger taunt. So he's like, I'll give you one.
It was...
Take this WWE 16.
Like, the first time it happened, I was like, oh, man, that's so rad. That's gross. Oh, my God.
Watching the ref dive out of the
And every
ring.
single time, the ref hauls ass out of the ring.
I'm not no part of this shit.
And then, like, I don't know, like, by the third time, I was like, oh, okay, yep. Can we get on with the match, maybe? And then, like, it just kind of ended. And I was like, wait, so he was champ for 2 weeks? Something like that?
No, since the Rumble.
Was he? I didn't know that.
He was won it at the Rumble, and then that's the night Orton won the Rumble. So they were going to, so they moved on to WrestleMania and did that. So WrestleMania started for me, as every WrestleMania does, with a big speech about what a great road to WrestleMania it was and how this was the best one yet, and how I thank all my friends for being there on the long road to WrestleMania with me. We did shots of vodka, which is vodka tequila.
Of course.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
But we won it at a trivia night. One of the trivia nights I hosted, somebody won it and then brought it to my WrestleMania party.
I mean, at least you're crossing nationalities with that.
We got a both, man. The pandering to the Russian Mexican.
Rushexicans?
The Rushicans. Let's edit that part out.
I showed up to friend's house, our friend Zach, right as like pre-show started, and that guy with the
You showed
weird
up at 1 p.m.
No, yeah, I was there like 5-ish. That the guy with the weird eye, I don't know his name. Axel? No. Aim? I don't know. Nope.
With the
No,
weird eye?
who opened the show?
Neville and Austin Aries.
That's it.
That's
Knew it
what
was an
was.
A. Axel. That's where I
That
was.
was for the Cruiserweight Championship, and it was on really early.
That was a good match.
I don't like noon WrestleManias. That's the only thing about outdoor WrestleManias.
Mm-hmm.
I love it once it gets nighttime, but daytime matches. I feel like they lose rewatchability for some reason. I don't know why. It's just a weird part.
It just has a very pre-show vibe. It's like, this is absolutely the pre-show.
Too early for this. But even Sting, Triple H at 31 is like freaking noon o'clock. Like Sting with his Dark Crow entrance, and I was like, I can see you. I see every part of you, Sting. You're not.
I don't get that vibe, because if someone's not into wrestling, like, you could just show them the show and be like, look at how much production value.
Yeah.
Like, there's a gigantic ring built above the ring where they hide all the lights and who knows what, projectors, and like, it's what was like an 85-yard entrance ramp.
That set this year, WrestleMania 33, was probably my favorite set. I can't think of another more illustrious set. The New York, New Jersey one was cool with the Statue of Liberty up top and stuff, but this was, it was glorious.
And like, the entire ramp has its own
That thing was
screens
enormous.
or whatever.
That's the thing about that. When I saw that go up, it looked like the days leading up to it looked like a plywood ramp, because I was like watching this the whole time. I was like
Lurking.
secret drone footage of the WrestleMania flyover and stuff, and I was like pictures from outside, because they start setting up like 12 days in advance, and I was very into it. And it looked like plywood. It probably was at the time I saw it, so I was like, oh cool, they're gonna paint the little logo there. I had no and then Randy Orton comes out and a snake follows him down the thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, it changes.
Big Cass and
Enzo,
their leopard print was like
all
moving. So it's like the entire ramp was all leopard print, but like, it looked like it was flowing down the ramp. I was like, I would get dizzy and fall off that shit.
Imagine. He's like, I can't do it.
I fell in love with them immediately.
Oh, of course you did. Yeah, absolutely. That makes total sense.
Because like, they were coming out, they were introducing people, and like, before every match, like, I'd have to lean over to my friends and be like, who is that?
But they did. They did it for you. They told you exactly what they are, who they are.
And my friend Ken, who was on a couple weeks ago, he goes, remember the New Age Outlaws? It's them. And like, they start coming out and they start talking, and I was like, I get it. That makes sense. But like, and they're like,
so there's some stuff you can't teach. Okay.
Can't teach.
Oh, because that's the thing.
Yeah, that's why I thought you liked him. You like a good catchphrase. You like
I like a good catchphrase, and I'm a sucker for this is my speech that I say every single time,
Yeah,
and people are
everybody's
gonna
into it.
like, all the people that I was in the room with were all saying it, and I was like, the whole time just grinning like an idiot because I don't know what's going on.
So it started with Shane, which is crazy.
Hang it, the pre-show.
Sorry.
I bought the network for a week or so.
Yeah, you're canceling that Monday, aren't you?
I kind of am. But
Fan.
I'm losing a lot of names. Intercontinental title.
Yes, was that Miz? No, not Miz.
No.
IC title was Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
And Giant Bull Man.
Wolf guy.
Giant guy.
So
I
when
forget his
The
name,
wolf
sorry.
guy, the lone wolf guy.
every time, so like I've been watching What Culture on YouTube has been doing like the top
Baron
10.
Corbin. His name is Baron
Yeah,
Corbin.
the Baron.
I was like, I can't get away with that. I can't get away with calling a bull something.
They were doing the rundowns of like, different facts about all the previous WrestleManias. And every time they say something like, oh, well, this title, whatever, wasn't actually in the WrestleMania show, it was in a pre-show. And I'd be like, what? And I I couldn't wrap my head around. It was like, but it's the best show of shows. Like, shouldn't every title be in the show? And in the past, it'd be like, well, the tag titles were never made it to the main show; they're on pre-show. And it's like, or the U.S. title never made it to the main show.
Yeah, in a lot of years it doesn't. Well, that's the thing with having, especially with the brand extension and post 2002. There's like 7 titles now. Like everything before that, it was World, IC, maybe the US, and a tag, maybe a hardcore match. But that's just fun
even
games,
the US titles like newer.
Like
I remember
US
back when it was just like the big belt and then Intercontinental
World, IC,
and tag. Yeah.
Into the 80s, 90s, yeah, and then like the European
Champions,
right?
That's what it was. Showed up for a little while.
The TV championship title.
Yeah, that was WCW.
Yeah.
And every indie fed that didn't have TV, so television championship. We don't have television.
So I was like,
there were 2 belts in the pre-show.
Yeah,
featuring like at least Dean Ambrose. Isn't he? He was champ like last year,
not very long ago. And last year he worked with Brock, and the match had its flaws, but it was still a good match on the main show against the against the biggest box office draw the company has. So yeah, I mean they did the best they could with it. I got to be honest. I was like really I was kind of I didn't really watch that match. I was like walking around, getting ready for Mania.
Yeah.
I had to get the perfect amount of drunken high before Mania started.
Fair.
And then maintain that to the Brock Lesnar match, which is
that's the match I was making food to. So
yeah, exactly. Like we were cooking, cleaning, that whole thing.
Isn't it great getting old? It's awesome.
So Shane
starts with Shane.
Is that what started it?
Yeah,
I guess I just don't
Shane
know.
And AJ Styles, Shay J, who had, and so you're waiting at the last minute, and especially they're like making the set and stuff, and you're like, Shane's gonna jump off that. What's that? Shane's gonna jump off that. We're making a roller coaster. She's gonna go ride the roller coaster. Jump off that. But then it was a regular wrestling match. All holds bars.
Did they make that roller coaster for that set?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah. That's all trustworthy.
I thought that was like...
No, man, that's just a stadium.
God
that is where the Dolphins play, I believe.
I thought it was like outside of the stadium. It was just in the background.
No, it was on the like top concourse, I think.
Jesus.
No, they're nuts.
But yeah, Shane.
No one actually rode that, by the way. It wasn't.
No one rode it. It was like a light coaster.
I refuse to believe. Did you not see the intro to WrestleMania? It showed all those people on it.
They were all on it.
And they were running into the wrestlers.
Look out!
Through them.
Exactly. So Shane.
That's a no-go area.
I was
from working at a Six Flags. I know that was a no-go area. John Cena should not have been standing on that roller coaster.
That's an e-stop and a half.
That is a kill zone.
Kill zone. Thank you.
That's the bad footprint.
Kill zone. That's what it was. Because kids get killed.
Well, just don't go over the fence.
So I'm thinking, what's Shane going to do? And then it's just a regular match. And they had, not to say there wasn't some gaga or anything, but there wasn't there wasn't the big, he obviously didn't jump off a cell. He did the table spot and the can spot, but that's just like, that was after the ref went down. As soon as that ref went down, I was like, here we go. Let's start WrestleMania. Good match.
He hasn't learned to not jump off of so much stuff.
No.
He does it so well.
But the guy always just gets out of the way.
He does it.
He's landed that a few times. He landed it the other day, didn't he? Oh, off the tables, yes.
Yeah.
On the tables, yes. Stop doing that. Stop doing that.
He missed the table. He missed Taker last year.
It's not WrestleMania season.
He had to miss Taker last year. There was no choice.
Murdered Taker.
Fine.
Literally killed both of them.
Honestly, all we got was another year out of it. He probably should have just murdered Taker last year. What do we get, a year? We got one match.
And then he missed the moonsault.
Yep.
Which...
No, the shooting star press, yeah. Which was insane.
Which way did he... Okay, yeah, I guess so.
Shooting star press at 0-2 at WrestleMania.
I had to think of which direction he was...
Brock Lesnar did it at WrestleMania 19 and landed on his fat head.
What's the difference between shooting star press and moonsault?
You go forward.
Which way you're facing?
It's like literally standing.
You're standing on
the ring. Get on the
ring.
table and show them. Don't do it with your fingers.
You're standing on the ring. You're facing the crowd. The ring's behind you.
We're in a house full of action figures using your fingers.
These are
collectibles.
These are collectible statues, sir.
I looked over too. I was like, why should I not have said that? It's because I said action figures.
There's only 2 action
JR
figures.
looks at me like, oh, here it comes.
There's only 2 in here, and they're both behind you. And yes, they're still mid back.
Let me just open up this package here. What is this?
That water.
That's my Lex Luthor.
Don't tell it. We're on radio.
I thought you were making a joke about pouring water on them.
Oh no!
No, he was opening the pussy
up
package.
I ruined it. I blew it.
That was really funny.
Blew the spot.
Thanks a lot. Anyway, Moonsault,
Doing radio plays over here, man.
facing the crowd, do a backflip into the ring.
Right. Isn't that what he did?
He went like this.
The shooting star press.
Yeah.
You're on the post. You're facing the ring. You do a backflip and move kind of forwards.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, you're doing a backflip as your whole body's going forward.
Right, but you're facing into the ring.
Yeah,
You're not just doing a backflip onto
Yeah.
the person.
Right.
Anyways.
So, like, the direction you're traveling is completely different.
Yeah, my body wouldn't move like that.
But usually I see people land that flat and spread out their impact.
He hit his knees.
His, like, hips never... His balls did not touch canvas on that.
Was it our elbows and knees is
Yeah.
what he hit with?
Yeah.
There's worse ways to hit. I'd rather kind of land like that if someone's out of the way. I mean, that's the way you would land either way. Just hopefully there's a dude there to kind of... Oof.
True.
No
They,
dude.
when Brock does it, they call it headbutting the canvas.
Yeah. He
just
landed
headbutts.
right on his giant head, and there's no reason for him to be doing it. Before Brock debuted, he debuted in 2002, the night after Mania, and in January 7th, 2002, Springfield Civic Center, they were Brock was like before he had debuted, he was like doing the house shows and stuff, and he was doing the shooting star press. I saw Brock do a shooting star press in 2002. So then the next year when he climbs, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna do it, and it's in the main event. He's gonna beat Kurt Angle. And he just lands on his head, dude. And he's like, and then Kurt just like, roll me up. F5, win the match.
I kind of got an arm on him. That'll count, right?
Yeah, like Owen broke Austin's neck. And then Austin proceeds to do the worst roll up schoolboy on Owen. And Owen's literally flailing his legs. And he's like, I can't believe this is happening. What should I do? Instead of just kicking out.
No, it's... There's times when they got to decide, like, that's who the winner's supposed to be.
Oh, yeah, no, that would have been terrible.
Even if they're kind of crippled, they got to figure something out.
Yeah, Kurt Angle can't walk out of there with the title. Especially in a title match, I'd assume, right? So then the next one, you must have popped for this, JR. Come on. It was the tag team ladder match, and it was you dream about things. You fantasy book, and you hope that they get it right, and you want things to happen, and it was a tag team match at WrestleMania. New Day were the host. It was a triple threat match. Different teams, Cesaro and Sheamus and some other guys.
I liked how well they were getting along.
Oh, yeah, that was really nice.
Because that was one of the things where it's like, Sheamus is never going to go for a tag team. He doesn't get along with anybody.
And that was at the best. They tied a best of 7 series, and then Foley's like, the winner will get a championship match. So they tied, so he's like, all right, you get a tag team match. So they... Are you looking up shooting star presses over there?
No, I'm looking at levels.
Oh, like technical stuff.
Like the show, yeah.
Sorry. I'm just doing my job, Dick. Move on.
But it was nice, because like Cesaro had got his brief entrance, and then he hit a pose, and then like...
Yeah, they look good.
And then it's Sheamus's, and like they're doing they're mirroring poses. And it's like, oh, they're buddies now. That's
I guess if you're
cool.
gonna pull it together, like do it on Mania. You can't do the begrudging partner thing right up to Mania.
Matching tuxedo tops and kilts.
So then the New
Dig
Day
it.
comes out. Yeah, you're right. Then the New Day comes out, and you think the Nude Day. The New Day comes out, and they think that they're going to insert themselves in the match.
Yeah.
And the frickin' Hardy Boys come out, dude, to like what? They were just yelling. It was just yelling. It was just a minute of yelling at the top of our lungs.
I can confirm. Same in my location.
That the Hardy. I've been watching reaction videos to the Hardy Boys coming out, and it's pretty much just 30-year-olds yelling at the top of their lungs.
Exactly. And like, it's almost like everybody knew it too. At least in the place where I was, everyone was like, "I'm." It has to be the Hardys. Like,
hope.
Their contract's up with the other thing. They just lost the titles. Like, it has to be. It has to be them. And then like, even though everybody that I was watching it with seemed to know it, they were still on their feet screaming.
Well, you just hope. It's a thing. It's just one of those things that you hope. Like, all the times over the year, I was like, I need Vince to come out right now. I wish the new general manager is going to be, you know what I mean? And it never is. It's never... Yeah. Not that it never is, but, like, very rarely do they get it so right. And they got it so right. So the Broken Hardys come out, complete with dyed hair, bleached gray-haired Matt Hardy, and Jeff Hardy, whose Swanton Bomb is just him falling on you now.
Literally, that's what it is.
He just does a front flip and lands on you.
Isn't that what the Swanton is?
No, it used to be like the top of his shoulders and head would like so like gently
and he'd look like a swan.
God, he'd flow over and it was gorgeous, and now he's just like
well, hang on. When he did that one off the ladder,
his dad body onto wrestlers.
When he did that one off the ladder,
yeah,
onto Sheamus and Cesaro.
Oh yeah,
which Cesaro took the brunt of that.
Yeah,
you cannot like project yourself off of the top of a ladder because ladder will just shift, fall from under you, and he will just fall straight down. So he had to like. I'm watching this and like it's wobbling while he's standing on the part where it tells you not to stand on.
Do not stand. It clearly says.
You're not even supposed to stand on the second to last rung.
Imagine if it said that on there. They're custom ladders that have two sides of steps. This is not a step.
And but like if he had, projected or kicked off or anything, it would be a mess. I
think he's made that mistake before. Like I've seen like.
If you watch like any of like the indie or the backyard guys, they always make that mistake because they don't know any better. And he like perfectly kind of like leaned forward until his weight wasn't on a ladder anymore. And
it comes from 20 years of jumping off ladders. Like I got it.
One of my favorite part was like they get in the ring because like the three teams are already there. They're like in their fight stances about to start, and then New Day comes out and Hardy's come out, and like Matt starts pointing to each other person in the ring and it's like counting them. And then his arm moves, and the camera cuts away real fast.
Oh, before he deletes.
You see the entire crowd's arms going, delete, delete, delete. And I'm like, that's fantastic.
WWE, so they're currently in the Hardys with whatever entertainment it is that owns TNA that just bought TNA.
Ring of Honor?
No, whoever bought TNA, like a global entertainment
company.
Oh,
right, I remember Billy Corgan was looking for someone to buy him.
Bought TNA. And that's where Matt like created that whole gimmick, but it's Matt's gimmick. Like it's 100%. He filmed it at his house with like his father-in-law and his wife and his baby and stuff, and like used their real names and like created this whole thing out of nothing. And launched a company, like put a spotlight back on a company that desperately needed it, and like that's how they're gonna repay them.
For that to start off as ridiculous as it was like the stupidest, most ridiculous thing. It was getting mocked, like the EC3 and some guys
the Ethan
did.
Carter thing. When I saw him at August last year. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, it's so much better than his, and that was amazing. And then like a month or two later, I was like, no, this is way better than just. Anybody could mock this. This is like great original material that Matt Hardy's doing.
And like it kept going, and like he had a drone that was like his companion.
Vanguard 1, V1.
And like that didn't make it any less ridiculous, but like it just garnered more fan worship somehow. And it's like that you couldn't predict how far that would have come.
No, absolutely not.
And it's like you literally thought that Matt Hardy was broken.
Wasn't it?
Like his mind was just snapped. He just came up with the most ridiculous stuff he thought up, like while taking a shit someday.
Just the way he's talking and everything. Like he just reinvented himself and made himself the coolest cat in wrestling.
Who's Brother Nero? What are you doing?
Alex, wasn't it a couple years ago? I think we were talking about it. Wasn't there a wrestler doing a signing at the sports shop in the Enfield Square? And I thought it was Matt Hardy.
It could have been. I remember us
thought
talking
it was.
about this.
And I was like, oh my, like, dude.
How the mighty have fallen. It's the biggest thing in wrestling.
And now look at him. He's back on top.
Not the Enfield Mall, though.
Yeah. If you're ever in the Connecticut area and you want a grand shopping experience, check out the Enfield Square with newly vacated Sears, Macy's.
Yeah, we're looking at all the Sears and Macy's stuff in here.
Shit.
Fixture sales. It is kind of weird watching people grow up, because like to me, like I'm a kid when I was watching wrestling as a kid. Like Hulk Hogan is always going to be old. He can't get more old. He's always been old. But like the Hardys, at some point, like I could identify with them because like they were maybe only a couple years older than me, and now like they don't move the same way. Like how long before Matt needs new knees?
Yeah,
you know, it's like he's gonna have to purchase himself some shiny new titanium knees.
Get those new knees.
Like, it's not going to be too
Magic legs.
like you said, dad bod.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they're still in better shape than me. And
Oh
can
yeah,
do
they're better
tons
shape
of
than
stuff.
me now than they are. Like, yeah.
But that's one of the moments where it's like, I can't tell if they're selling really well or if they're actually in pain.
They're probably dying. They're probably dying. But what a great moment! Like, that's a WrestleMania moment, man. That was.
And then they got to win.
It stole the show.
Yeah,
They
And
had to
they're not-
win.
They're not
you can't
fully
have them
broken
lose.
either. I like they're teasing the idea because they're currently in litigation, but WWE's being so cool about it, and I think they're trying to push TNA's buttons right now, or Impact Wrestling's buttons. They're also letting the Hardys honor their independent dates, so the WWE Tag Team Champions are going to be like in Ring of Honor and in a couple little smaller shows that they got. The way that WWE is taking care of the indies right now is great. And it's all Triple H because Triple H doesn't want to go down as Hogan. He doesn't want to go down as a guy that didn't give back. Also, he can claim all this. Now, the next 30 years of wrestling, it's not Vince anymore, man. It's going to be Triple H that this is all going to be accredited to. It's honestly insane the way they're...
I have to find a Botchamania clip for you. Because I don't recall which one. It was like one of the past 10. He does one like every 2 weeks or a month now.
Yeah.
But it was like footage of Triple H and like some NXT stuff, and they were like promoting one of the NXT guys to go up full time in the big leagues, and the package that like Botchamania put together was like this whole long clip with like inspirational music and like you just. You follow your dreams and you can achieve what you want. So this guy like works through NXT and like to beat up and like finally wins, and Triple H like promotes him. He's on Raw and whatever, and then it's like he's just getting his ass kicked his first match out. Gets his ass kicked the next match.
The blonde
out.
guy, yeah,
yeah. And then like Dean Ambrose beats him up real bad, and like Triple H wins the title.
Triple H, I did it.
Triple H wins, just gives himself the title, and it's like it goes back to the first guy of like, if you believe you can achieve anything, you can. It's like he was just like a stepping stone to get beat up.
Who was the guy that they're pushing up? I'm like,
I don't remember.
he was that blonde, good-looking dude.
Tyler Breeze,
maybe.
I honestly don't. I can't.
The
remember.
model one.
Not a clue.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, sorry. I wish I was more prepared on that one.
I hate it with something you haven't seen before. So.
No,
but
I
like,
might have seen it.
but the way they put that together of like, you worked up from the bottom, you can do whatever you want. Like Triple H still just wins.
Bow down to the.
It always ends.
Bow. There's a great picture that they every year when stuff like this about Triple H comes out. It's just wearing every title. They just Photoshop the tag to every single title. Bow down to the.
What happened? So tag team was crazy. They had to give the Hardys the titles. They had no choice. I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
because I really didn't know anyone else. What else happened? What happened after that? Was that the
Jericho.
Andre the Giant?
Might have been. No, did they go? No,
that was
they went
during the day.
pre-show
I think.
on that.
Yeah,
that was at noon.
It was a really long and boring battle royale. There you go. And some guy who I've never seen before won it, who apparently knows Gronk.
Yep, that's the thing, though. I'm down with it, though.
Did you see the security guard?
Oh, dude, she was
She was not in on the
Gronk
bit.
hops the thing, and then the refs all have to come over, and without knowing English or anything about the situation, you have to understand. You have to like assume that the ref said it's part of the show because she was super serious, and she's like, "I got him, everyone." He's 9 feet tall.
Well, because it's Gronk. You figure even if it wasn't a bit, he's gonna do it. What, you gonna stop him?
You stop him?
Initially I was like, of course he's gonna do this, and like all the jokes start coming out that like he took that one bump, so now he's out 6 to 8 weeks for surgery again.
Oh yeah, that was happening in because my house was a mix between Green Bay fans and Dolphin fans, and then the rest of us are Patriots fans.
Right.
So that was
So Gronk hops the wall, and there's that one security guard who was not in on it, and you could see her in the background, like people were talking to her, and she was clearly just like, I didn't know.
Sorry.
Anyways, what happened next?
I'm surprised Gronk still has a career anyway, because that Madden curse.
Well, I mean,
he was out. He did get injured.
The Madden curse is usually career ending.
He did get injured, but then his team won the Super Bowl anyway. So
I'll take that curse every time.
And then they're going to win next year, and they're going to
win
the
it
year
with
after
fast
that.
food employees, and
they honestly would, like, with just the way they torch it. But and this is coming from someone who is not a Patriots fan.
So the ladies are up next, and I feel like I guess the only one you probably know is Charlotte Flair.
I knew Charlotte. Dude, I like Bailey.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bailey's cool because it was really funny, that Botchamania edit, dude, where she was doing metal. I said it to you. And she was bashing Charlotte to the metal. That was so good. All I wanted in that match was, I know what the term is, a Bailey to belly. That's her finisher. I wanted a Bailey to belly off the top rope, and I thought we were going to get it like 4 times. And then it just kind of ended.
Stuff there. Yeah.
Although Charlotte, that woman can moonsault. Like, good lord, she makes it look so easy.
She did one with a twist. Like, I hadn't really paid attention to many women's stuff because I just don't watch week to week.
Yeah.
But, like, holy shit. Charlotte is, like, perfect for the job.
Oh, they're like...
Because she's, like, athletes. Tall, she's fit, and she can do flips. She can, you know... But poor Jax. That was one of the things where, like, I realized, like, who the company's invested in. Because, like, how long is your entrance? Do you get a full, complete entrance? Or, like, do they just kind of, like, put the camera on you for a bit and then, like, talk about something else? And, like, Charlotte's getting fireworks and shit.
I hope Nia Jax got a golf cart down halfway down that thing, dude. How could you not be blowed up?
Isn't she The Rock's cousin?
They're all The Rock's
something like that.
cousin. Show me one person that they don't...
She took that sweet powerbomb, though.
How long before they try to convince a Samoa Joe is The Rock's cousin? They're all The Rock's cousin.
Any Samoa's related, apparently.
I've looked up this family tree, and we're not going to do it now because you never take anything from it. You don't keep any of the information. You just go out and you're like, oh, the Inois are related to this and that. And so, yes, I guess he is the... And they're like, which one's Roman's brother? No, he's his uncle cousin. And it's just... Dude, and you never remember, you never, like, absorb any of that information and take it with you. The women did well, I thought. I liked it. The athletes are great. I think that I would have rather have seen Bailey or Charlotte go in as the champion instead of Bailey retain. I think Charlotte's giant streak of winning pay-per-views, which ended the pay-per-view before, could have just gone one more. But that's nitpicking, I guess. Like, it was a nice moment for Bailey. I just think she should have won it there instead of, like, retained. A win is always better than a retain at WrestleMania, I think.
I dig her story. Someone who's, like, so into wrestling and, like, has been her whole life. At least that's what's portrayed. Who knows how legit it is, am I right? But, like, I think it's rad. I think she's cool. Mm-hmm. She always rocks that ponytail, even though it looks like shit after every match. She still puts that ponytail up. And then it was a good match. I liked it.
She got her ponytail ripped out. Yeah, it did get ripped out for a minute, and I think she, like, put her gimmick back in. She's like, nah, I'm the side ponytail girl. I'm the girl from Napoleon Dynamite. I gotta get
She's gotta appease the hugging section or whatever it's called.
Cena and The Miz had their WrestleMania 27 rematch with their girlfriends.
That was the first time I've ever seen The Miz wrestle.
Really?
That was the first time I've ever seen The Miz, like, because The Miz to me is the guy from the real world.
That's crazy.
Because I watched that season.
12 years.
I know, exactly. I've never seen The Miz wrestle, and I was like, okay, he's not too bad. Like, Cena, I've, like, gained a respect for. Like, because Cena was the reason I stopped watching wrestling when I was younger.
I get it, man. I went through that phase.
Yeah. I was like, he's not Stone Cold. I want him to be Stone Cold. I hate this now.
Boo.
Exactly.
But get a boycott.
I thought, and, like, it was great, because, like, when Cena and wife Nikki Bella were doing their
their fiancés.
I know, doing their duo thing, like they're both doing
spoiled the ending,
the shuffle and stuff like that. Like,
shuffle,
I was like, oh my god, it's so rad,
it's so good.
And then, like, everyone who was there with me was like, yeah, it would be cooler if they didn't do that, like, every time they wrestle together. And I was like, well, I've never seen it before, so it's
if you haven't seen it, it's
fresh
new to you.
To me.
There was an article on SportsIllustrated.com. It was by Charlotte Wilder, and I learned her name this week, but she did a whole thing. This was the first time she had watched wrestling, and she live blogged it. WrestleMania 33 was her first experience, like, watching wrestling, so she live blogged it and, like, does a pretty good job. But her gem, she writes, like, beautiful, like, in the waning sunlight of the Florida heat, AJ writhes in pain, and I was literally shotgunning a beer while he was doing that. And she writes this beautiful statement about, like, how it looked. But she gets to wrestling, she's like, oh, the guy from the real world's here. I know John Cena. He's been on True Grit or whatever it was. American Grit. His girlfriend's pretty. Oh, it looks like he's going to propose. He's smiling. She's smiling. The crowd is crying. Wrestling is dope, you guys. It was such a refreshing view of wrestling. I wish I hadn't watched wrestling so I could experience it for the first time. But then what would I have done with the last 32 years of my life?
I really liked how so many people were cheering for The Miz. As much as I don't like The Miz, so many people were cheering for him just because they don't like Cena.
So he has this, like, blood feud right now with Daniel Bryan, who is full on retired, but they're doing those talking smack segments, which are live things, and they've only had 2 of them so far. I guess they're trying to keep them apart.
That first one looked painful.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
And I couldn't tell if it was real
Daniel
or
Bryan
not.
makes fun of Miz style. He's like, "You're soft." He's like, "You're a soft hitting." Like, I don't like your WWE style of wrestling. And he's like, "That's the whole reason I can still do this. You did backflips and kicks for 10 years, and now you're done." He's like, "The reason I have this style." He's like, "You love the WWE audience. You love wrestling so much." He's like, "I do." He's like, "Then why don't you quit? Why don't you go wrestle in a bingo hall?" And he's like, "Well, I'd probably sell at the Tokyo Dome, but yeah, and my contract's up in a year and a half, and I might." I think that break is what Daniel Bryan needed, and I bet he's got a couple matches left in him. Especially if Taker's done.
He should just get a new brain case.
Get a new brain case.
Just
wear a helmet.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
You're welcome.
No, well, it's too late, but he probably should have. Where were you 15 years ago? He probably should have started. I'm the guy.
Blame John Cena for getting me out of wrestling.
Why are you wrestling with a helmet? He's like, I got to fight the Miz at WrestleMania 34. The real world guy?
Just don't jump. He won't catch you.
Triple H. And Triple H had a badass entrance. So Triple H is the worst guy in the company 364 days a year. Until it comes time to WrestleMania entrance time. And then he has the most badass, awe-inspiring WrestleMania entrance. He wrestles the whole thing as DX face Triple H. Coolest guy in the room, and then like he'll either win or lose or whatever. But Triple H, like for all of his... he gets a lot of flack for like making it all about him, but he's put that aside in the last couple of years. But then, no, it just comes right back. Like, you can't defend that Triple H at WrestleMania. He's the worst guy, and then he's the best guy. He's the king. Bow down to the...
So, he rode in, like, this big trike motorcycle.
Yes.
My dad used to have one.
With his hot wife in the back.
But, like, he had all the police escort ride in front of him. So, the police motorcycle riders, they're professionals. Mm-hmm. They are trained to ride those things. They have, like, precision courses they have to, like, complete. Because you cannot ride a motorcycle at that speed and stay upright.
Oh, okay, yeah. The balancing, because it's a real slow. I gotcha.
Either you're not going or you're going kind of fast. So that's why Triple H didn't have like a regular motorcycle, because he wouldn't have been able to drive it down at that speed. He would have tipped over, dude. Or like driven off the ramp or some. Because like
Stephanie over the edge into the.
So like he could keep it like the right pace and balanced with the 3 wheels, whereas like the police escort, like they could do that in their sleep.
Yeah, they're getting paid to
but
do
like
that.
That is a difficult speed to try and take a motorcycle.
That's
at.
an interesting take, man.
Oh, yeah.
I never thought about
Yeah.
that. That's great.
It's
Like,
like
Taker would do it, but he'd go fast.
Oh yeah, he would just crank it.
He would just haul ass.
Anytime you see like motorcycles in a parade, there's a huge gap somewhere.
It's easy to ride fast when Rolling by Limp Bizkit is playing in the background. So like it's hard. It's harder to ride slower with America Badass by Kid Rock. Any Kid Rock Limp Bizkit combo, pretty tough to. You try driving slow.
And Seth Rollins got to use the ramp with the fire effect.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That was kind of neat.
That was cool.
It was so windy and breezy. It's like years ago, Atlanta, the Olympics. Mm-hmm. They had Muhammad Ali light the final torch, but like it was so windy, it's like he had to keep shifting because the fire was burning his own hands.
Yeah,
because I'm watching, I'm like, is he gonna be okay up there?
No,
like the way he's holding that fire stick, is he gonna burn himself?
Why is he shaking the torch so fast?
Yeah, Rollins though, he was good. I'd never seen him wrestle.
Oh really?
I'd only seen him get injured in GIFs.
The worst.
And,
I'm so happy you watched it, man.
Me too. It was
not
like
curb stomp people.
I was hoping for it.
Mm-hmm. I thought they might bring it back.
I was like a bunch of us. I mean, me. I was like, I thought it would have been rad because like, what are they going to do? They're going to have him use a pedigree against Triple H? That's lame.
The thing about the curb stomp is that Vince just saw it on TV one day, and he like saw Seth doing it, and just got a bad taste in his mouth. And he said he pictured, I've like read this, that he pictured Stephanie or Shane doing it to Stephanie like growing up.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he just pictured his kids wrestling, and the other moves, I don't know. You could pedigree your brother and probably be okay, but you can't really fake curb stomp your brother's head into the ground. So I understand that. I understand why I guess they can't do it, but such a good move.
But at some point, I always liked innovation, and I feel there's always a chance to come up with new stuff or try something different. And so from that match onward, right, we had 5-6 guys who collectively threw the same 6 moves 40 times.
Yeah.
Like
Super kicks, DDTs,
spears,
things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, as finishers, yeah, you're right. Like
Right.
Goldberg and Roman, like literally the same finisher.
And we'll get to that later. But so in my head, I was like, well, we're seeing the 2 guys throwing the same move, and I was like, that's dumb. But when it got close to the end, and they just keep reversing each other's pedigree,
I'm trying to get.
I was like,
yeah.
all right, I'm kind of sold now. You got me.
They got me with the misdirection. Because, first of all, we forgot about a match, by the way. We forgot about Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. So we're going to have to revisit that.
We're gonna have to revisit that, sorry.
But, because I distinguished the Triple H Seth Rollins match as the last good match of the night. That's how I know that we're getting into the shit. But, like, they got me with the misdirection because, like, Rollins sets up the table and then just kind of walks away. And I was like, that... Did he forget about it?
We'll come back to it later.
It's still there. Like, was he going to use it?
There's a table.
And like when like Stephanie gets up and like, oh, Triple H stopped himself. Like I was like, oh, okay, cool. When she took the bump onto the table, totally forgot about that table. Like I was like, oh, she's gonna hit the pads because like the camera like hesitated for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, they're good at that. They're great at keeping stuff out of.
Totally forgot about that table.
It's not for the live crowd. The whole live crowd is like, there's a guy in the ring. He's gonna spear him.
Yeah,
but
like
when you get when the TV does it right, it's so good.
that was a big
wasn't
shit
there-
moment for me.
They did that with the ladder match. Because one of the guys like springboarded onto the ladder out of nowhere. I was like, "Where did he come from?
Where did he come from?" An arena full of 75,000 people. That's where
Just magic.
he was in the center of it.
I thought that was a good match though. I hadn't seen Triple H wrestle since like DX. You know, like
dude, he's so good. The thing about H is he's Vince now, but he's Vince that can go. Like what WrestleMania was that? 32. Dude, Triple H might have a match at WrestleMania 50. Like that's not
out of the question.
No, because Vince performed his last WrestleMania match was against Bret Hart in 2008 or 9, and that was like he was over 60 at that point. Triple H is just 50. Dude, it's like not. He could be having a match at 70 years old, which is 18 years from now, less than 18 years from now, man.
Huh.
He's Vince that can go.
I don't have the same opinion. I didn't think it was a bad match, but I've watched Triple H matches for 20 years.
Yeah,
So
I haven't seen him in a long time.
It's just another Triple H match to me.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true. I mean, he was the John Cena of like
The thing that kills me about Triple H is the fact that we all call him Triple H and nobody questions it. His persona is 3 H's.
I've thought about that a lot. I've just said it driving in the car. I'm like Triple H.
Yeah,
H.
it's like nowadays most people like there's Randy Orton, John Cena, Bray Wyatt. They go by their name. Like there's few of like The Undertaker. We've discussed this before.
Well,
too.
there
like,
was a few back in the day in a dark era.
well, yeah, there's like Doink and like Yokozuna.
The dumpster.
Yeah, like people had like the nickname and like the last remaining like gimmick like Undertaker. Oh, he's the dead man.
He's something. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not just a very athletic guy who gets pissed off and pretends he's a snake. He's like. When you think about Triple, like I know he's Hunter S. Helmsley. I remember like originally when he came out when he was like all like Greenwich, Connecticut frilly.
Yeah.
But then he.
I don't know anyone in Greenwich who dresses like that.
Me neither.
Every
Me
one
neither.
of them. It's weird.
It's almost like
Every
an
one of
exaggerated
them.
stereotype. But like we've been calling him Triple H.
Triple H, and everyone's
for
just
3
fine.
H's. Yeah, that's cool.
Not even HHH or there's a video podcast I watch called OSW Review. It's they chronologically like do the Hulkamania pay-per-views and stuff, and like they did all those kind of Mystery Science Theater-esque. Three Irish guys. They're freaking awesome. Sorry to plug other stuff.
It's okay.
They're freaking like OSW Review. So they find things that like that just happened in history and stuff, and like really pick it apart. And one of the things was they were trying to get away from they're reviewing now Attitude Era stuff, and they're trying to get away from Triple H being called Hunter Hearst Helmsley because he's with him now. And there's a couple weeks he's with like Shawn Michaels now, and there's a couple weeks where they tried to get the nickname Try over.
Yeah.
And they were calling him Try, and he's like, hit him with the truth, Try. So now these guys are just like, that's like one of their lines. It's just like, Try. But they pointed out and totally grazed over a fact that like they tried to make his name Try. And JR tried to get it over. Tried to get it over. And if JR can't get it over, nothing. You
that's
you
the
can't
end of
get
it.
it over.
It's
JR
not gonna
will
happen.
get over anything. Remember the WrestleMania 14 national anthem? And it was by the DX band. And he's like, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's... But like, it sounds like the DX songs, but like, think of bump, 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 bump. And he's like, and the ramparts we watch. So it's over. Boston, Massachusetts is now straight up boo. And Jim Ross is like, only in the World Wrestling Federation can you express yourself artistically like that. A round of applause for the DX man. Like, no, Jim Ross, not this time, Jim Ross. Great to see him back the other night. By the way.
We're gonna get into that. But yeah, Triple H, Rollins, he had feathers on his boots, looked cool.
Am I killing your levels by yelling? I'm just freaking.
No,
it's fine.
I feel like this is the loudest. I'm always like, rah, 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 rah.
No, man, we're good. Let's quickly visit some Owens and the best friends in Jericho. You were never my best friend. It was crazy. I'm a big fan of Kevin Owens, having never seen him actually wrestle, only in GIF format. So being able to see him, like in a, take home a belt, that was pretty cool.
So like never in your scrolling and all that time, I'm sure it's the sources that you're coming through, but never in your scrollings where you're just like, did a YouTube clip ever come up? Because like it's so crazy that you only get. Is it Tumblr?
I mean, I watched Botchamania.
Okay, yeah. So you do see,
There's a Botchamania clip again, another package that they put together, where they're doing like the best friend song, like the Odd Couple.
People, let me tell
Yeah,
you about
yeah.
And it was a whole like mashup of Jericho and Kevin Owens like doing all the best friend stuff, and it was really fun.
It was really fun. And I think WWE even like ripped it off and did like a thing like it also.
Oh, really?
But like JR, it was my favorite thing about this year. They were just so much fun, and I just wish so much more time. If he kept the title, like if this Goldberg thing didn't happen, that was your main event, dude.
Yeah.
Like, well, maybe because like I didn't know about that, but like if this Goldberg thing if they didn't sign him and it wasn't there and the Lesnar money wasn't there, like that could have held it. That could have carried it, and it wouldn't have been the most amazing WrestleMania that it is. Like, luckily they know what they're doing and they put it in a spot in the card, which it was fine. But like, that was the culmination of such an awesome program, and I wish it got more time. I thought they were going to steal the show.
He had him in the walls like 3 seconds in. I was getting food and everyone I snapped back to like, because I watch a lot of MMA. I watch one pay-per-view a year when actually like, again, gifts.
When Brock or CM Punk fights.
See, I didn't like when Brock fought, and I did watch
in MMA. You didn't like when Brock fought?
I mean, I liked watching him lose, but like, unfortunately, he didn't lose as much as I wanted him to. But the Punk match, that was brutal.
God bless him, though, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I got to give him like the Mickey Gall, the guy who beat the shit out of him, like. Just also beat the shit out of like the top prospect, like this guy Sage Northcutt. He's a fucking stud. Like he's like this 23-year-old just cut from marble. Like the kid's unbelievable. He's like a black belt in like 18 different. And Mickey Gall, the guy who beat CM Punk.
Go back and talk about the other guy. Talk about him some more.
Oh, Sage Northcutt.
Yeah.
Mickey Gall, the guy who beat CM Punk, just beat the shit out of him. So like it's not like Punk destroyed by some like whatever. Exactly. Like he got beat by a legit fighter. Like and I mean, I got to give him credit. Like I would never get into that ring. I would never get in. Nope. I don't want
his
to get punched.
speech afterwards, though, like, how could you not? Even if you were the biggest detractor and wanted to see him get his ass kicked, like, how could that speech at the end that he gave is amazing.
I never watched press conferences ever. Like, I'm going to watch this guy talk about how much it sucked to lose. I watched Punk's press conference from
I
start
punched
to
him in the
finish.
face a few times.
Yeah, he's like, and like some people were like, coming out with the entrance music. He's like, why would I not come out to that? Are you insane? Do you not love, what is it, Faith No More? Who does the song?
No, did he come out to Cult of Personality?
Yeah.
It's Living Color.
Living Color. Yeah, he's like, you don't like him? You don't like Living Color? Are you insane? Like, he just got his ass beat, and he's like still like just the same Phil Brooks.
He's a cool dude.
Like that was. I hope he gets back. I hope I would like to see him win. I really would.
I'd like to see him win just so we can jumpstart him coming back. Because I want him back so bad, but I want him to like fulfill what he's got to fulfill. Yeah, and I want when he comes back, I want him to want to come back. But God, that's when he comes back, man. That's gonna sell some manias, dude.
Hope so.
He could have like the biggest payday of his career if he. But he again, does he give a shit about that?
He kind of doesn't care.
Exactly.
Well, that's why I want
so
him
much.
to fulfill him. Like every day, that dude opens up his Twitter. And it says, come back, come back, come back, come back. Like, I want him to want it. Like, I just want him to find what he's, like... I watch his career grow. I want him to, like, experience his life and, like, do what he needs to do. But then also, can you just fucking come back when it's done? Like, can you just...
There was an article somewhere that said, like, why the audience has to stop chanting his name at shows.
I just saw... I didn't click it, but there was a Disco Inferno, and I can't... Maybe it's not even good, but it said Disco Inferno on why you should stop chanting CM Punk, and I was like, I don't need to watch it. I'm with you, Disc. I gotcha. Call him Disc.
But yeah, Owens and...
there was a point where Jericho was about to pin Owens, and it was close. And he didn't even hesitate. Owens, like, didn't bother to kick out. Didn't like do the thing where he's reaching, then gets it.
Oh god, that was so good.
He just like puts his arm out and puts his finger on the rope. One finger on the rope.
The tiniest part. It's the small, literally, maybe the tip of his nose or my dick could have been tinier than the fucking.
Maybe.
Maybe. Depends
Let's
on how
find
tiny
out.
that nose is.
Let's do some math.
But God, how brilliant is that?
It was. It's like. Me being the professional, like connoisseur of the Kevin Owens persona, like it was just perfect for him. Like he's such a good, like just watching that. I got all I needed from the intro video, where like
I'm not your best friend, and I never was.
I'm not your best friend. Like hey, I got you this thing. It's like
guy.
it's a new list, and he's like
but like, this one has your name on it.
It just puts like, can you imagine like if you missed? Match is over.
Oops. Even better though. I think that was like kind of a fuck you to like where he was in the card and stuff like that, and that Goldberg was there, but maybe not. Maybe like he seems to be a down to earth guy, but like the way he kicked out with such little effort.
Yeah.
The only worst kick out attempt, and I'm going to credit Hammer Tunis, Sexy Jesus Hammer Tunis on this one, is Kurt Angle's. If you watch any Kurt Angle kick out his whole career. Kurt Angle, and I'm quoting Hammer Tunis on this, Sexy Jesus Hammer Tunis, the whole way, is that he does everything golden, everything 100%, he's an ace, a ring general everywhere, except his kickouts. It goes 1, 2, I'm on the back, there's 1, 2, and Kurt just goes,
just reaches?
one arm out, dude, like you're reaching up to like a bug's on the very low ceiling in front of you, like you're sleeping in a camper, or in a tent, and there's a bug up there. And he just goes 1, 2.
For those that can't see, Matt casually reaches his arm in front of him.
No, I forgot we're recording. We're not just hanging out.
I forgot too. We're so into this, just talking to each other.
Yo,
that sound effect would have sold that. I should have went 1, 2.
Like you see guys like both legs full like pump kick out, like a full pump kick.
Exactly. I just kipped up, like Matt just kipped up.
Or like
Let's go with that.
Or in later that night, like Undertaker like grabs Roman's head and just like shoves his head off of him and like gets his shoulder up.
Tired of you, tired of carrying you through this match. Where do you have the card in front of you? Where are we at? I was doing it.
We did Triple H Rollins. I think next was Bray and Orton.
We did that.
Yeah, that match kind of sucked, and it just kind of ended. Which, like we were talking about originality.
I do kind of dig Bray's entrance.
Very cool. Yeah,
I dig Bray.
I hate to fucking shit on it because
I dig Bray as a character. Like again, first time outside of gifts. Like the only thing I've seen from Bray Wyatt is when he fought Undertaker and he was like crawling on his hands and like Undertaker sat up and I was like, what? But like,
great gift. Top 10 gif.
I've been real top 10.
choice GIF. Widescreen.
Like I get on wrestlers because I hate a lot of wrestlers' finishers. I guess the realist in me was like, how would that even hurt? And then it's also like, that's lame. That like I hate Dean Ambrose's finish. Oh, he hits him with a DDT. Oh my god.
Whoa.
No, you're shitting on the DDT.
That is
I'm
a double arm
I'm shitting
DDT.
on Dean Ambrose's DDT. And
No.
someone.
That's a Cactus Jack DDT.
Yeah, Cactus Jack makes it look good though. Dean Ambrose just kind of like falls, and like I can't remember who said it. I think it was Ken when we were watching it. He's like, you ever notice that like when they resist against Dean Ambrose's DDT, like he can't lock his hands,
Yeah.
but like when he actually hits it, he just kind of like curls up and falls. Like he never actually tries to like. It's lame. It looks fucking lame. Also, I'm gonna rage.
He's gonna keep going.
I hate the Styles Clash. That's my least favorite finisher in the history of finishers.
All right.
Just because like the setup is so annoying. It's like, okay, he got the one arm. Let's wait another 30 seconds. Oh, he got the second arm and he fell forward. Cool.
It is a little contrived to set up. I'll give you that. It comes from that early 2000s. I hated it when I saw it too, but now I think it's just I think it's great. At least it's fun to see.
And initially I was like, wow, I was like, Sister Abigail's the stupidest finisher I've ever seen. But I was like, no, man, at least he tried something new.
Smooches him and bangs his head on the ground. He goes a little smooch. Get out of here.
I'll take the Styles Clash over. I think we've talked about this before, like the Canadian Destroyer or the Spanish Fly.
Well, yeah. Or do you mean in the sense that you don't want to see it again because everybody does it? Is that what you mean?
It's one of those moves where like these two people lock, and then they both start flipping, and at some point they land, and it's like. This took 100% effort on both parts.
Everyone,
right.
Yeah.
and it's like...
I have to do this also.
I can't even tell who threw the move or who...
Who did it hurt? We have said a lot.
Who did it hit?
Who did that hurt? Or...
Like, one guy's to stand and one guy's to stand up for me to know what happens. And it's just so much work. It's like I'm trying to think of how to explain the Canadian Destroyer.
No, I understand.
You have to flip me so I can do my finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. So, like, in that... Like, I feel the Styles Clash isn't as bad.
Right.
Yeah, at least he kind of scoops you or, like, you flip or something.
But he only hit the
into
one-arm Styles Clash, so it didn't hurt him nearly as much. So, he kicked out.
But that was brilliant because he knew it wasn't going to finish the match yet, so only get a half of it. I would put that over because I wasn't that drunk yet, so I could talk a little more about the Shane match than I can about, like, some of these middle matches.
But it's one of those ones that he can, like, pull out of a lot of places.
Did you see the video of him on Botchamania when he was fighting the guy and the guy tucked his head?
He tucked his chin.
James Eller.
He landed on his knees.
He went on his
like,
knees so to save his head from his
heads
neck
up,
from
heads
breaking.
up, AJ. Even though he's, from what I understand, he is a flat earther.
A what?
AJ Styles, flat earther.
Well, he's pretty religious, so like you never know what they're going to believe.
That's a shame.
I think he's pretty homophobic, also.
Awesome.
We're just putting him over. And I'm
really,
like, and he hates gays.
I realized how old I was not after if the Hardy match didn't do it, the Jericho match did, because he's doing his finisher, and I'm like, it's a lion tamer. It's Walls of Jericho.
I forgot it was called.
I love the
lion
walls
tamer,
though. My favorite. What
I like when you get them up on their neck. And it's just
the
a regular
walls.
Boston
Yeah,
crab.
That's exactly what me and Sexy Jesus were saying to each other. Me and my pal, Sexy Jesus.
There was
Who doesn't hate the gays.
One of the Tough Enough seasons, one of the students asked him about that. They're like, "Why'd you change it?" And like all he did was like show them the difference, and didn't give like an you didn't see an explanation on the show.
Yeah, we know what it is, pal. Like we're asking why. Put him up on his neck and call it the walls. And then when it's down there, I don't mind you calling that the lion tamer, but when they call that the walls, which they do all the time, the Boston crab, the walls are going to know, so it's a Boston
It's a Boston crab. That is not the walls.
It's a Boston crab.
But his Boston crab is different, I guess.
No, it's not.
Anyway.
It's the
Sorry.
worst. No, it's not the worst. It's great. Just don't call it that. Just put it over,
Yeah.
man. Like, get it. Call it the walls. It's okay to have multiple signature moves.
We're probably going to go long.
Yeah,
Where
we're
are
at
we
58
at?
minutes.
Oh, sorry.
So, have you seen a thing about his chest?
The muscle tear thing?
So Scott Steiner has a really bad one.
Yeah.
Jericho's kind of getting there. I think someone pointed out Xavier Woods, and then someone also said, like, you haven't seen Stephanie McMahon with, like, a cleavage shirt in a while, because somehow she's got it, too.
What was it, a working out thing?
I don't... Like, the video I watched was trying to explain it. They were saying maybe, like, due to trauma, there's, like, micro tears of some kind.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But like,
Steiner's got it. Take's got it too. They pointed out a couple people that
like
have
Steiner's is the worst because he gets covered up with a tattoo to try and hide it. It's this weird
it's
like
a cliff.
It's
like in
yeah,
his-
it sinks
Like
into
tears.
his chest.
Pulls it really. Yeah, it's like a sunken chest, but it's
Like-
also like
If you were to go to like poke him in the chest, you wouldn't get peck. You'd get like bone. Like his.
me too. But that's just that no upper body Eddie thing.
Yeah, but Jericho's getting it.
So we're on a semi-main event here.
If that's what you want to call it.
The see of their 3 meetings though, and of their things, I thought this was. I thought that was a cool, like, badass WrestleMania match. Like,
Luckily,
dude, WrestleMania 6, Hogan Warrior go, like, the same time. Like, this is, like,
Right.
just, like, a classic, like, boom, hard hit 'em.
Mm-hmm.
What I liked about it was that they never showed... It's not that Brock Lesnar was not doing damage to Goldberg. It's just they never got a chance to. Like, Goldberg got the upper hand every one of those times. Goldberg was quicker than him, and Goldberg did really look quick. For a big old dude, they made him look very, very quick, except for that first night where he kind of, like, did something to Rusev and stumbled. That was in Hartford. He, like... He always got the best of him. So when Brock finally got an offense in, and, like, Goldberg ate that offense and took his bumps and stuff like that, it's just, like, a good, hard hit and, like...
Did you see the guy counting the suplexes in the background?
Oh, is it? That's...
There's a guy with a sign, and every time there's another suplex, he'd hold up a new number.
Do you guys know my deal about Brock Lesnar matches?
No.
I get blackout drunk for them. If
Okay.
there's a Brock Lesnar match on the card,
Like, it's an obligation that
I
you're like,
have
fuck,
to
man, I gotta get drunk.
And WrestleMania
Well,
last year
that's
was
the best
rough
way to
'cause he
enjoy
was-
it is just being blacked out, so you can't remember it because
Even the one they had a 4th of July, they were in Japan. It was an overnight, so it was live in America at like 5 a.m. So we drank all night and like stayed up and like drank and started pounding beers, and I was blackout drunk at 6 in the morning for this Brock Lesnar match. Did not go to the parade that year. So I have to. And last year it was hard because he fought Dean Ambrose in a fight in the middle of the.
That was early, yeah.
In the middle of the thing, and I was like, "Where do we go?" And then by the time it got to something, my cousin kicked me out because I was stone cold stunning in the room, and like it was.
I mean, it's a logical.
So that's my
thing to
deal.
do.
Simple things that I do, but I get blackout drunk for Brock Lesnar matches, and boy was I.
So
It was
Brock
great.
first shows up, starts wrestling,
Mhm.
and then he starts getting big and getting noticed, and like he starts getting a push.
The next big thing.
And so he's like, I'm just going to do all the moves. I'll just do all the moves. I'll do the shooting star press.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do a powerbomb. And Bob Holly's like, don't do a powerbomb. Just
Still
build your set of moves. Just like build a repertoire. Get your Bret Hart 12 moves of doom, and just build that. Don't like start trying new stuff. Oh, I'm going to powerbomb. Bob Holly's like, don't powerbomb. I'm going to powerbomb. Sandbag. Oh no, I broke Bob Holly's neck. You know what? I'll just make my regular moves be so much more cooler. So instead of doing my F5, I'm going to do like a walk in a circle F5, and now I crippled A-Train too. It's like, hey, Brock, just stop.
Stop.
Just
Stand in the middle of the ring.
just I'm gonna do a backflip and headbutt the ring and almost kill myself. And he goes away for a bit and he comes back. Well, now what's his move? The same move over and over again.
When he came back, he reinvented that. Yeah, he just turned into that German suplex. But there's nobody else doing it. Like it's not. He's not ripping anybody off. He's like, I think it's a real classic. He's a box office draw. I love Brock Lesnar. I will listen to this criticism. I will, and I'll take it, and I'll like converse in it. But I just want, at the end of the day, I want you to know that that's exactly why I love him, because he's this big monster.
But we saw two guys half his size that started doing rolling suplexes or rolling.
What's that? Shooting stars?
No,
What are you talking about?
I would do German suplexes.
Oh,
I would
it is.
do-
We're freaking,
Jesus
And then-
Christ,
we
I
are
got a
batting
lot of...
1,000.
And
You gonna
then
log that.
and then Eddie Guerrero would do his. What is that? I forgot. Oh,
Frog splash.
no. He would.
Just naming the one move that Eddie Guerrero does. Stunner.
It's not a suplex.
His the three amigos.
Light
Yeah.
sheet steel.
The hooking, like
Yeah.
the suplex, but
Yeah.
like he doesn't. He just rotates his hips. And,
Right.
Yeah.
And so he would do a 3 in a row.
Yes.
Which I felt like it's like
You're right.
now I gotta
3
wait
in a
for the
row.
3,
And then
and like I guess it's okay. That's neat. So but they wouldn't let go. You'd be locked in for all 3, or if they get out at some point in the match,
but they
you
would
got to
still
start
stop
over
at
again.
3. Yeah, he would do them in waves of 3.
Yeah.
You're right. So I guess
And
he did
so-
rip some guys off. But then Brock, when it got to that first one where he did 4,
and it's not even
and
a
then did
clean
5.
It's not a clean suplex. It's just, like, I really dig the German suplex. It has like the bridge with the pin at the end.
Oh, okay.
Like, you got to do a clean. Let's go. Arch your back, get right over.
No, he's just chucking
And
dudes.
It's he just like I'm gonna hold
As
on
you
to
do.
you, and I'm gonna fall backwards,
Chuck this
and
dude.
like you're gonna travel away from me. It's just sloppy.
Oh, there's a
It's-
fucked up one. There was one that looked bad. There's one I was like, ooh, no.
You guys notice how Goldberg's looking at him? It's our right, his left. His left trap is like twice the size of his right trap.
Really?
I don't know. Just something I noticed. Anyways, I didn't like that match just because there was only one way for it to end. Like, isn't Goldberg's contract up? Like, isn't it the end of his contracts? Like, and they had him whoop Brock's ass twice. You think he's gonna happen the third time? No. There's only one way for that match to end, and it's with Brock winning. There's no like surprise for me. And like, they're both such giant, enormous men. Like, they have the 3 moves that they do, and then it ends. And
I guess they must have known that Taker was done all along. You know what I mean? That they were going to put him on last because they built this in such a way that like you just like it was a logical conclusion, but like he got his man, and they wouldn't be mad because they had already blown Survivor Series on it. It was a 12-second thing.
Yeah.
They got into the Rumble and it was a very quick thing, and they pushed that forever. So I think it did its job.
Do you know if Brock ever like calls a match? Because I know Cena calls a lot of his matches, and they were saying there was one where like Undertaker got kind of concussed and he couldn't call his anymore.
So then, yeah, the 30,
So-
at 30, that's the one he broke the streak.
And so like we got 2 guys that can't construct a match. Like Goldberg never could. One of his best matches was DDP, and DDP like walked him through the entire thing. And so I think that's why we got what we got, because they
Yeah, I wonder
couldn't.
if that did get written.
There's
I mean,
no
it's
psychology
easy to
to
draw
it.
a match if you're like, it was 5 Germans, 2 spears, a missed spear, a half thing, and then a... Like, I watched guys call
jackhammer,
matches.
kick out. Was that the first time someone's kicked out of a jackhammer?
No.
No, because he used to get lost. And then, like, Triple H, he was here in 03, and, like, I'm sure everyone kicked out of it then. If you don't think Triple H kicked out of that jackhammer, I bet you there's 12 instances right now.
In one match.
I thought it did its job, and it set up the main, but then I kind of like, once I knew they were going main with Taker, I understood what was happening. And,
Was the women after that match?
They did do a women's in between, maybe. It was
Well, they did the SmackDown.
SmackDown
Yeah,
women's.
yeah.
I'm not gonna. I don't know.
Which again, if you watch their entrances, some girls
Oh,
get
yeah, I
they
did
get,
like it a lot,
They get
sorry.
halfay down the ramp, and then it goes black again to introduce the next
I
person.
think that was also a
Not
time
Naomi
thing. Like,
though, dude. Naomi huffed her way down that
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
She did her whole dance.
Yeah, the
that
camera's
whole
on her
way
the
down
entire
that
time.
What a great entrance, huh? Especially on that stage, and when that like beat kicks in, that fucking.
her light up shoes.
Did she gank her knee on Raw? Like, I saw her like hopping on one leg, still doing the dance though. It was
I
in a
don't
GIF.
know, on SmackDown. She's
SmackDown, yeah,
though,
because she's SmackDown champion.
At what point do you like say like, hey, no one else can have UV reflective costumes tonight
Right
because
then.
I'm the
Because
only.
I'm the glow person. Well, it's not that they can't. They just don't put on black lights for anybody
Oh, true.
except Take, right?
Yeah. Which I think that was a bad call.
What?
The lighting they had on Taker, mixed with the fog,
Okay.
because like it ended up looking like a bad '80s horror movie, where like everything is so kind of like washed out and flat. You have the entire arena, you have this giant man, and that weird purple lighting.
I agree. It was all for the close up.
It was all this weird
for that
kind of
one
shadow
angle
effect.
underneath them.
Yeah.
Is kind of how they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted a classic look. I thought the fog looked okay, but you're right. In the wide shot in fan videos, it's like, where's the Taker? Where is he?
Yeah.
Is that the Taker?
There was a running game that the guys that I was hanging out with, like, they were playing the drinking game, and they're also like there was like a whole pool on shit that would happen, and one of them was what's the over under on Taker's entrance being over 5 minutes, and it was over 5 minutes.
Was it even with him coming halfway?
Yeah, and like I mean they counted
started
it
him
like
halfway too.
yeah,
Rising out of the elevator, the ramp elevator.
I'll be here.
but like I can't remember how they ended it. But I think it was like once his music ended, they stopped the timer or whatever
Yeah,
it was.
I mean, no, that counts. Full entrance. Yeah.
I don't even
From
give a shit.
from
I'd
the
say,
gong.
I'd say the dude earns it, and I'll listen to that music all day. He's creepy as fuck. He's like one of the only like the gimmicks, man. I dig the gimmicks.
I
the old
27
days.
years, dude.
I definitely own the album, and I would listen to his track over. and
I've
over
listened to
again.
that. I listened to all of them. The rock one from with he had some like tongs, speaking in tongues in the beginning. Ana, 2 de diciembre. It was the corporate ministry version.
But yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen Roman Reigns wrestle. And like, I only hated Roman Reigns because everyone else hates Roman Reigns. And I just see that everyone hates him. I'm like, oh, that guy must suck. And now I hate him.
Yeah. Well, so part of my thing is like, I didn't really care who he was or why. But I would see he's getting pushed, and I'd see everyone else hate him.
Yeah.
And it's like, no matter how much absolutely everyone hates him, he's still getting pushed. And it's like, he doesn't know what to do with it. He doesn't really have a direction. And
I agree in the sense that they need to figure out what the fuck they're doing with him. Like, they need to make, if that's it, if that's the guy, man, which it clearly is, can we just make him, like, stop trying to shove him down my throats as not a good guy, not a bad guy. Just make him a clear-cut bad guy so I can fucking
That's
hate
what everyone's
him,
saying
dude.
is like, if
I
they
just
made
wanna
a heel
hate him.
turn
And
on
right
him,
now, I don't want to hate him because I feel bad for him. I just want him to do his full The Rock turn, and it might take The Rock doing it, or maybe Brock doing it, but
yeah.
like...
Because someone tried pointing that out. They're like, well, there was a pro that, like, everyone hated until he got shoved down our throats the right way. And it's like, yeah, I get it. The Rock had to join the nation and then do his catchphrase. And
I want to hate him, man. I want to hate him for the right reason, though.
maybe if he had more than 2 moves.
I did not.
Build your Bret Hart 12 Moves of Doom repertoire.
I don't subscribe to. I know that wasn't it was an amazing repertoire. I know that wasn't an amazing match the other night, but I saw a thing today. He had 2,700 matches in WWE history. I bet you like 1,600 of those.
Roman's not even been around that long.
Wow, must be wrestling 4 days. So like, if you weren't a big fan of that match, start over and watch from the beginning. Then go watch 27 years of the Taker. Like, the matches are there.
There's plenty.
There's plenty for you to watch.
Plenty
so
of
if you're
source
not
material.
An exact fan of that match and think, oh, it sucks that he went out that way. Like, suck a dick, man. They tried. It was fine.
It's tough watching your hero
sandbagged
die.
him a couple times. Like, I think Take's hips, like, fucked up.
When's the last time he walked the ropes? Has he done that in a while?
I did not do it this year, and I don't think he did it last
year.
year. I think he did it against Lesnar, though, and I think it led to him, like, having the concussion.
Maybe I'm not going to do that anymore.
I'm not going to do that anymore. There's nothing more old school than a concussion.
He didn't do his
dive either.
Yeah,
no, I don't think.
Well, I didn't mean to dive. I mean like he does like that jumping choke.
Yeah, in
thing.
the ring, but he also the Shawn Michaels out of the ring thing that he's done
onto
all
the
those
camera
times.
that didn't catch him.
Onto Domino or Deuce, Jimmy Snuka's kid.
Yeah.
He couldn't even catch him.
Yeah, one job.
He stole one WrestleMania from us. He probably could have gone to 34. Man, but I got to tell you, I don't think he's done.
Really?
I think he's done. I think he's going to get this hip replacement, and maybe in a couple years be like, I went and saw Dallas, I went and saw DDP, and I'm feeling pretty good. I know he'd be like 47 at that point, but Tom Brady will be 47 when he wins his 10th ring, so.
The shitty part is you're not wrong.
But it's not just that Roman gets pushed for whatever reason. Like, you're fighting The Undertaker. At some point, you can't just throw your 5th Superman punch and be like, look, it worked. It's like, oh, I'm just going to do my spear for the 4th time.
Invented
and
something,
that's gonna...
or even tombstoned him or something like that. Like,
yeah.
That part was brutal.
Should have stole.
When he went for the reversal.
Dude, it's not, he sandbagged him. You know what I think he should have done is picked up the gloves on Raw. I think Raw should have started with the hat and the gloves in the middle of the ring, and the Roman should have just put on those gloves and threw on that hat. Been like, these are mine now. His promo on Raw was amazing.
Those were still there. Like they broke down the entire arena.
Yeah, Pyro sent it to me at like 3 a.m, and it's like he's like they're still there. And I looked on Twitter, like at the source of it. I was like, wow, that was still. He was right. They were still there.
Yeah.
Updates on the hat and gloves.
No shit. I guarantee you, there's already like 15 Twitter accounts. Like parodying
Taker's gloves.
Taker's hat.
Taker's
and
gloves were there.
Still sitting here, guys. real fucking original. Love parody accounts. Did I mention
sitting here.
I created a parody account.
Which one?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It had like 3 followers.
Which one was it?
It was based on being a video game hipster. So it's like actually, guys, it's called a Famicom, not a Nintendo. But
I like the Abe Vigoda dead one. Only for the reason he's like still alive, and then he was dead one day, and it just said dead.
I mean, I like the did the Sixers win? The basketball team, the Philadelphia 76ers, because they lost like every game like 2 years in a row, and every day it was just no.
No.
And then there's the someone did one like as if it was Henry Hill from the Goodfellas.
Yeah.
And it was like the times throughout the day, like that one really shitty day that he had where the FBI was following him, and
Yeah.
he'd like, he had to make the meatballs
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
it was.
Yeah, stir the sauce.
And like it ended with like the account getting taken over by the FBI. It was pretty original.
And they did
I
it
dug
every day?
It was over the course of like one day.
That's great.
Like, and it was like supposed to be
the
framed
clip.
in like
Yeah, yeah.
it was really cool.
We can make each other happy.
But Taker Reigns kind of sucked.
Yeah, it sucks to say, man. But like, I've watched it a couple times. I like to not bury things like that, but like, it was whatever. It was.
It's just like, especially seeing because like Taker was my childhood.
It's hard to cry, honestly. Like, I had no problem crying for Shawn, and the end of an era I cried because I thought that was it. And
What's end of an era?
The end of an era was the second Hell in a Cell match with Shawn as the ref. It's Take and H, Take and Try again, in the Hell in a Cell, and Shawn Michaels is the ref. And they're all just at the top crying, just 40-year-old men crying.
Gibbering.
So, like, I don't know. I cried the other day, but I haven't really processed it yet. It's like, it didn't feel real that night, and because it was kind of, like, it was kind of a letdown, it was hard for me to get all thank you, Taker. Raw helped, though. Raw started with a 4.5-minute thank you, Taker chant, and I cried. And I was watching it alone. I was like, "Thank you, Taker." Like I'm such a mark, dude. I love it.
I feel like I would have just rather had someone else.
Someone else, yeah. I would want Cena.
Like
Have Cena do it. I know it doesn't make anybody new, but like then give it to the Strowman. If the Roman can't do it, give it to the Strowman. Fucking let Braun Strowman do it.
If he's like the scary wizard now, then no. That's
Do what? What are we talking about?
Take
okay.
Take the career, take the life.
Like if Sean would have done it, I'd be okay with that.
But this is my yard now. Promo was pretty fucking badass. But then he came out because I was excited for Lesnar to get into it. Somebody on Raw, and then it was the Roman. They're just gonna like do that again because they
Just
never
Brock
really
and Roman?
finished it. Yeah, I know. I'm like okay with it.
Jared just had a dismissive shrug.
He just went meh. This is what his hand just went meh.
That's what my hand did. I don't know.
So-
After like watching Brock in MMA, like just seeing like he was like the penultimate heel in MMA, like just beating like a couple of legends, and he was a total dick about it. Like he's from what I've heard, he's kind of a piece of shit in real life.
He was really good at knocking it out and then laying on top of him for 5 minutes. So
In a couple matches. I mean, he did have a really good head-arm triangle choke on Shane Carwin. Like, I was like, are you kidding me? He's gonna choke him out with this. Like,
Wrestle him.
well, no, like he hit him with a legitimate submission, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, but then watching him get retired by Overeem was pretty great.
They just kicked him in the gut, and he's like, I retire. I don't want to get kicked in the gut again.
Especially because like he had his guts removed.
Yeah, it was diverticulitis
or whatever it is.
Diverticulitis.
that doesn't happen that bad to some people.
What, the diverticulitis?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. It's just like a freak
Sometimes
case.
it's like kind of a just, I'm uncomfortable because I eat seeds or something hot.
Heyman said that when he came back. He was like, you don't understand. He was like, Brock has never been at 100%. He's been battling diverticulitis his whole life. And now, finally, at the age of whatever, 37 or whatever he is, he's like, it's finally all gone. He's never been 100%, and John Cena should watch out. And then he busted John Cena's big fat nose open, so... He could have done it with diverticulitis.
Me and roommate Ryan were saying that Brock is super lucky that he has a Heyman.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, Paul Heyman is
So
such...
D. Heyman,
so good on the mic for someone who can't mic.
Am I going to have to come back to talk about...
Yeah, we are. We're well over.
To talk about Blitzkrieg Pro?
Well,
Indies.
I went to the last show, Ruby Soho.
I guess we're getting into it.
That was, well, I mean, what do we got? 4 minutes?
Yeah, we'll cut a short promo for
We'll do more
for
again
Blitzkrieg.
later. It was a lot of fun. There was a variety of matches that I saw. Like, as a fan sitting in the stands...
This was March 25th at Enrico Fermi High School, the party in the abandoned high school. And it was
it's weird that they're still calling it that.
Enrico Fermi High School.
Yeah.
Well, what else are you going to call it?
The not high school.
Dude, when we went live in the beginning, I wanted to be like, live for an abandoned high school in Connecticut. But I didn't get to clear it with Larry first before we got there. I just thought of it when I was doing the countdown, and I was like, oh, you have to make a decision right here, Matt.
The town of Enfield has had 2 high schools for years. and now they merged together. So Enfield High now has a Fermi wing to it. So it's all
that
just
facility's nice over there, man. And
I've
the
seen
pool's
it.
still
It
going.
does look
Now
really
we're just
nice.
doing Enrico Fermi. We're supposed to be talking about. This is how we do 2-hour episodes, guys.
It's true. That's how it happens.
But there were your serious matches. There was like your promoting the old timer with Tony Atlas. That was a really cool
Tony
match.
Atlas is in there for.
The tag team
Substitute.
was fun because we've talked about like the ridiculous stuff, like when the ants from Chikara will do like the grenade bit.
Oh yeah.
Or the
whole baseball spot. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the baseball spot, that was kind of fun. It's a shame the ref didn't really understand what was going on because Leary's like, be the umpire, and he just like stands outside like
Yeah, call the strikes, man. I don't know who the.
But they started going with it, and I was like, I don't know what's happening here. And it kept going until I realized that they're going to play baseball.
We're gonna play
in the
baseball
ring.
for a little while and have a 20-minute match. But
What
was
also made
amazing.
it fun was like there were guys who were the jocks. There were the nerds. It's like, oh, it's nerds and jocks. As soon as he got in, he's like, nerds,
As you do.
and I'm like, oh, I get it. But the material were there, so like they were like the emos or the weirdos, and then Bastard Crew shows up and like they're the greasers. It's like it's high school. It all fits. I get it.
Jeremy Leary and Logan Black are like they're such a great. I love doing their entrance for those two. Jeremy Leary, Logan Black. It's so much fun, dude.
And then they had like every single guy had a series of some off the ropes to the outside of the ring, which I didn't really expect Leary's coming. Someone else saw it. Does he do that regularly now?
I actually don't. I didn't really see it. To be honest with you, like I'm so nervous on show night.
So there's guys that will jump off the corner of the ring to the outside. Because now when you have like a 4-team tag match, you got 8 dudes around. At some point someone will catch you, hopefully. Because as you add more guys jumping over, more guys add up to catch. So like one guy will dive and it'll land on one dude. Now there's 2 dudes outside, so the third guy will dive and he'll hit them. And so like...
Oh, he did the trust fall. That's
Leary,
right. Sorry,
Leary
man.
bounced off the ropes.
No, I've never seen him do
Hops
that.
over the ropes, steps up to the second rope.
Like he's got a backflip, dude.
Crosses his arms over his chest and just falls backwards.
Trust falls, dude.
And a dude behind me is like, trust fall!
Guys, Blitzkrieg Pro is freaking... It's blowing up, man. It's
Like-
fucking blowing up.
Like that
dude.
move
It's-
sounds kind of silly, but it was fun. And then as you keep going with the matches, like there was good like wrestling matches where I was like, I can't tell what's going on right now because these dudes look like they're actually like kind of fight wrestling.
There's
and all the
something
way,
for everyone.
Oh, yeah,
at
definitely.
Blitzkrieg Pro.
yeah.
It's huge. It's the most fun I'm having in this area. There's obviously two of them are Pioneer Valley Professional Wrestling, and like I equivalent that to kind of a Southern style, and that's like just like a meat and potatoes wrestling, and I really like it. And Blitzkrieg Pro is just like it's a 100% alternative to any other independent in this country. Like I match our show and what you get for your money up with anybody that I've seen so far. It's I love it. Big venues, big stars. Cody Rhodes, man, that's the hottest free agent right now.
Yeah.
And they packed him into the Enrico Fermi, dude. It was a giant crowd. Cody and Dijak were amazing. I can't wait to see
That
more
was a
things
really good match.
out of Dijak, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to that. That was a lot of...
I wanted to see what was up with Cody doing the arrow stuff, and I
yeah,
was like, "What's
dude, he made it.
And especially like since he got let go or something from WWE or what, I don't know. what
Yeah, I
happened,
think
but-
they're like battled or whatever, or maybe, I don't know.
So, but like, seeing him doing all this other stuff and hearing about, TNA letting their people go off and do shows, which I didn't realize what the
Yeah,
their
that really
cooperation or
locked him down.
stipulation
Yeah,
with that.
like we had Ethan Carter, that first
Yeah.
one you guys came to, and he was like literally the championship. There's that picture of me with the TNA championship.
and they like
you got to hold the stinky belt.
Oh god, that thing stunk like Kurt Angle.
and this match was promoted between like past a previous match with Cody and Dijak.
Yep.
And like there was like a neat little package put together for the two of them, like how they're going to meet. And everything.
Josh Unstifer and those guys and Zach Sawyer are the guys that do the video and graphics and stuff for Blitzkrieg Pro, and they're good
Which,
at
like,
it, man.
I mean, they had less than a minute, but they told you a story.
Yep.
And it's like, I want to see how this ends. I want to see more of this. And who else was I going to say? Online, there's a really quick clip of Cody versus
backstage.
Kurt Angle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There was a Cody Kurt Angle match, and like they had a cage in someone's high school, and Cody does a moonsault off the cage, and Kurt moves out of the way and immediately hits him with the Angle Slam. And I was like, have they ever wrestled before? That looked awesome.
I think they worked a couple times in that whole. I'm not sure if they did it all for that company, but they worked a couple times before Kurt Angle got signed.
And then roommate Ryan told me Cody's from the Bullet Club.
Yeah, he's doing that in Japan.
Yeah, and then
it was really cool to have him in there. It I don't know, not that we needed that to legitimize anything, but like everyone who's anyone was bringing in Cody, and we brought in Cody, and it went amazing. And hopefully it blows up on YouTube and stuff like that. Like Blitzkrieg Pro, everything. YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff. It's real important to them. Pioneer Valley Pro it is also, but we're chugging right along. We're like, Pioneer Valley Pro is going very well. Happy for everyone. There'll be April 22nd at maximum capacity in Chicopee, Massachusetts. Blitzkrieg Pro will be back for Alden Ave in Enfield, Connecticut, the house that Pierogies built. For Alden Ave, the house that Pierogies built, the Old Country Banquet Hall. You guys ever eaten over there?
Nope.
It's nope. Sorry.
Yeah, I went to the wedding there one time.
You went to a wedding? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Steph's
Yeah.
wedding was over there, right?
Yeah.
So sorry, I gotta look at the Blitzkrieg date. That's not gonna do.
It just looks like you're taking pictures of Alex.
Alex. I was just trying to do it big so you guys could see that I needed you to cover for a second.
Matches,
and then it just turned into let's talk about Matt on the
on the phone.
The announcer's not bad either. He seems like a good guy.
The announcer's
He's
pretty
fun.
cool. Like
Yeah.
he gave us a shout out that one
I've seen
time.
better. Billy Finnegan's better. April 29th, Blitzkrieg Pro Red Hot Moon. Keeping with the rancid lyrics as the titles for pay-per-views. Pay-per-views, I call them. Such a 90s kid. Blitzkrieg Pro presents Red Hot Moon 4/29/17 in Enfield, Connecticut, featuring ECW original Shane Douglas.
I was always a fan of him.
Shane Douglas is a freaking man.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, it's going to be a good time. JR, sorry we kept you from going home to your... I feel like you worked all day. We just talked about wrestling for 4 hours.
I was looking forward to talking about
good.
that. That was one of the main reasons. Like my main motivations for watching WrestleMania. I was like, oh,
we got to talk about
Let's
this.
talk about it with Matt. Like I want to be in.
Well,
on
what
it.
I meant is that you're the tech guy, and I'm sorry we went over. Not that we wasted your time. But I
man.
just meant that sorry we did a freaking 2-hour episode again.
It's only an hour and a half.
Really? Sounds like we got
Well,
an hour
we
to
had
talk.
we have a year to make up for it. So
It's true.
That's true,
It's
too.
been a long time, and there's a lot of WrestleMania to talk about because all three of us actually saw it instead of just you guys trying to explain it to me.
Yeah, explain. Yeah.
also me not seeing it in the past.
I definitely. I like it better when you know what we're talking about.
I like it better when I don't fucking explain
When
everything.
you do your homework.
I mean, I had one WrestleMania where I stood in the doorway of Hooters for 3 hours waiting for a seat.
Waiting for a seat that never came. I've done that. Thank God. God bless the network. I do pro wrestling trivia every week now at Rumble Seat in Chicopee, Massachusetts, every Monday during Raw, and we watch Monday Night Raw, and I just talk shit about it the whole time, and then I ask wrestling questions in between. So I don't know if anyone's listening to this and is into wrestling every Monday during Raw.
That sounds
Rumble
kind of fun,
Seat,
actually.
Chicopee, Massachusetts.
It's like a combination of
For a
MST3K.
second, I thought it was just trivia while Raw was happening.
Oh no,
but I
that's
didn't
what
realize
I've
you
been
get
doing.
to watch Raw
I've
at
been
the same
doing it for a
time.
month. or a couple months actually. We
Okay.
canceled it the night after Mania because I was hungover and it was the NCAA championship.
Oh,
but every Monday night, Western Mass Trivia Nights, that's going pretty well. That's kind of my gimmick. I'm in the Future Heavies, which is a 80s cover band that I sing in a Hulk Hogan shirt about. Blitzkrieg Pro is the frickin' best thing since sliced bread. And better. Fuck sliced bread. I'd rather have a Blitzkrieg
I'd
Pro
rather
sandwich.
wrestle.
A Blitz sandwich.
It was fun to watch dudes do scripted dancing for like
For 5
6
hours.
hours. Yeah. That was a fun night.
Friend on Facebook said he was watching it, and of course another guy gets in and says, "Oh, why don't you watch UFC? It's guys actually fighting."
Shut up.
And there's some back and forth between these guys, and I go, "I'd rather watch these guys have a choreographed quote fight that's supposed to be entertaining instead of two guys that are either pulling guard or walking in a circle for 2 hours."
A lot of pulling guard.
There's a lot of
Sometimes good matches happen, but sometimes they're just going to pull guard and sit there.
I've had my
Trying to get their
share
purse.
of sitting in sitting in Buffalo Wild Wings, because like you get there for like
Yep.
8, because you try to get a good seat, and the pay-per-view for UFC doesn't start till 10,
And the match
which means the main event
12:30. Yeah.
the main event doesn't start till midnight. So you're doing some waiting, and like you already ate, so you're not hungry anymore. You already paid, so you're literally just sitting there in a fucking wood chair,
Oh,
praying the match is good, like just praying it's a good fight. And then, I mean, sometimes it is.
It's too loud to talk to anybody.
Hmm?
It's too loud to talk to anybody.
Exactly.
You're
Yeah,
yelling.
you just hear Joe Rogan screaming.
I started going to the Springfield Hooters in like 2000, whatever, 4 or 5. I was like 21 right when I started there. And that's exactly what you have to do. You have to show up at 6, sit in the thing, and the pay-per-views got big, and I was like the only one there, so I'd have 6 chairs. They're like, are you going to get these? So I'd have to start just ordering enough food for 6 or 7 people and hope to God that my friends came and could like split some of it with me, just so I could watch WrestleMania 21. Hulk Hogan comes back and like gives a. I didn't get kicked out that night. There was a radio station there doing the like air machine with the money in there, and I took off my shirt and did the worm, and they were like trying to kick me out, but Kate Chaconis got me not kicked out. So thanks, Kate Chaconis.
I know that name. This is fun, Matt. I missed you. I'm glad that you're
I
able
miss you
to.
guys. I did not realize it was a year, and I apologize for that. So
You should
I'll
be sorry.
see you tomorrow.
Yep. See you for the next 6 weeks.
What episode was that?
250, 265.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations, guys.
Thanks.
I'm glad this is going so well. It's beautiful in here. Congratulations on both your houses.
Thanks.
I spent all my money on drugs, so like it's not just pot. I'm sorry. Like it's good that you guys save things. It's nice.
Congratulations for saving. Now this is fun. Go see wrestling shows. If you have one local, just go check it out.
Support live events.
Yes,
Support live events
and working
and live
people.
wrestling. And now that you've gotten to the end, my girlfriend Carissa was sitting here the whole time, and she
She's a
did
trooper.
so well.
Real trooper.
She did so well.
This is a long episode about talking about dudes rolling around in a squared circle. Square.
She did
do they
amazing
still
at
call it that?
They
WrestleMania.
do, yeah.
She rolled out snacks every 20 minutes. She
That's
was
clutch.
like, dude, she's on point for WrestleMania. I gave her a big talk.
I'm
I
jealous.
said, babe, this is it. This is WrestleMania. This is the Patriots. This is the Super Bowl, but both teams are the Patriots.
Everyone's the Patriots.
Everyone's Tom Brady, and we need snacks every 22 minutes.
Except that one time there's Gronk, and then Gronk shows up.
The Grog Show. There were a lot of Patriots there.
But this was fun. Let's do it again some other time. And go support live shows and wrestling and people working to entertain
Everything. Blitzkriegpro.com.
you. Yep. Matt, thanks for coming on.
Thanks,
it was a lot of
man.
fun. Till next week, I guess. Is that it?
No,
it's only
I
been
can't
an hour
come
and a
back.
half.
I can't come back for that.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like in general.
Oh, you guys? Okay.
yeah.
Sure. You guys try this without
we do
me.
the weekly thing. We'll give it a shot. Till then, I'm Jr.
I'm Alex.
I'm Matthew James now. Can I do it? Okay.
You did it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
supposed to do it.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, wait, we didn't remind Matt
I
about
fumbled that
the
whole
sign
thing.
off.
Should have just gone with my improv and known that I did the right thing.
And this has been episode 265. God damn it. My opinions are very...